Well, hey, welcome to Do Things Make Stuff. Today we're going to be talking about the Scribit. Now, if you want to see all the details and how I kind of go through all the stuff that I have, then go ahead and watch the entire video. I think there's a lot of great information and some little tips and tricks on how I did things and kind of learned some things along the way. But if you just want to hear a little bit about my final thoughts, kind of Scribit version 1.5, go ahead and jump. I'll put the time codes below and you can just kind of see what I think. I want to show you my new office. This is an office under construction because I just moved in. I just took over this new director role here at Arrowhead Ranch in Tennessee, and I just moved into my office space. It's been a little bit. The person that I replaced was here and stayed a little longer than anticipated, so I didn't get to move in right away, but now I'm here and it's big and I don't have anything. The floor is vinyl and I got my folding tables there for my desk. There's a couch over there with a bunch of junk on it. So I got some work to do. We're gonna make this thing an office. Now, one of the first things that I'm considering is there's a really bad echo. I don't know how much you can hear or not, but I'm putting in carpet tile squares. I've done some of these recently. You put an adhesive on the floor. Tape is what I'm using. I'm gonna put these on the ground. Now, just recently, a company reached out that I've done some videos for in the past, and they said, hey, we like your videos. We'd love you to do another one. Now, I've never done a sponsor video, so I guess this is my first one. I'm not getting paid to do it, but I did get a free product. So, drum roll, please. Here it is. Let's check it out. Here's a clue. It's from Italy. Looks like it's 2 packages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new Scribit. I got another one. Now, Scribit reached out to me and asked me to update my Scribit, do a few things, check it out and see. They wanted to check it with me and get some feedback and some reviews about what I thought, because they had seen my videos, saw they got some traction. And they said, hey, would you like to do another video with some of more of our things? And I said, I don't have it anymore. I used it at the job that I was at previously. And when I left that job, well, I left it there because it belonged to them. Not only has the Scribit changed slightly with mainly software updates, but they now have, I think this is almost, I gotta double check. This might be like the 3rd version of their pen. And you might notice something significantly different. That tip is fat. So they've got new pens. This is now, they actually sent me pens before to test out, and then these are the new pens again. So I'm excited to test these out. Also, they sent me the drywall paint. Now, being in my new office, I love to use whiteboards. So they sent me the whiteboard paint to paint on the wall, to use with their new markers, with a little bit of an updated Scribit. And they wanted my feedback and asked me to shoot another video to see what I thought. So I think the first thing I do in my office, which probably shouldn't be the first thing I do in my office, I'm gonna paint one of these walls with this. The problem is this isn't my color of the wall, so I'm gonna paint around it afterwards, but that'll be fine. So in July, Scribit did release some new hardware. Like I said, it's not a completely redesign. I wouldn't call it a version 2.0. It's maybe like a 1.5. So they sent one out to me to test out, once again, the paint, the new, those fat tip nib markers, and then to try this new Scribit out. Software updates are continuously happening. Hardware, slight changes in this one. And they sent me a special one, a limited edition one. So I'm stoked about it being black. The other one was cool too, and silver was great, but that one looks really good, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so we already know what this looks like. It's pretty much the same as Scribit. Same stuff, same container. Apparently things inside have changed a tiny bit. So I'm not gonna worry about that too much. What I wanna do is paint the wall, let it dry overnight, come back tomorrow, and then we'll give this thing a good test run. So the instructions say that I can paint this at 2 meters by 2 meters. Now, Imperial, we're gonna go to 78 inches. It can go a little bit more than that, but 78 inches, we're gonna go 78 by 78 and paint us a nice square whiteboard. So here's the deal. There's a good chance that after I paint this, I really like white dry erase boards. I'll probably do a bigger one. The 78 feels kind of small, but let's move everything out of the way. It says to prep the wall with sanding. So it gives you a sanding block. Let's get that done. That whiteboard's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I need to read the instructions and double check that. So this is the pad they give you to scrub the wall down. So I'll do that real quick. And then read the directions a little bit. Because of the size of the container, I'm assuming that has to do something with shipping. I'm going to ask them when I meet with them on Friday. 2 A's into B, obviously 2 A's into B. I don't know if you can tell, but this stuff is thick. All right, now it does come with a foam roller and a frame, and then this. So you really don't need anything. Use what it comes with. Let's see how it goes. I'm just about out of paint. It's not even close to enough. All right, so let's talk about this. It says 4 meters by 4 meters, or 4 meters squared, that it's a single coat application. Now, I don't know from here, it probably looks fine, but let's bring you in real close. And you can see through it. Like it needs another coat. If that was white underneath, maybe it would have been all right, but it's not. It's tan, and that won't work. So I got a phone call with Scribit this week, so I think I'm going to let them know. And probably what I'm going to do, honestly, is just go to the store and buy whiteboard paint, and I'm probably going to have to paint it again. And if I'm going to paint it again, I'm going to paint it bigger. So again, 6 feet by 6 feet. I don't know. Let's see if I can get a good shot so you can see that it didn't cover. I say that I can't use it for 4 days. I didn't realize it was 4 days. I thought it was gonna be like 24 hours since there was a part A, part B, and a hardener. I assumed, it would be fine tomorrow, no problem. It's like an epoxy paint. It's not an epoxy paint, or it is, but for some reason it needs a 4-day dry time. And it says that it continues to get better after 30 days. So that one's gonna be kind of a long test. Maybe I'll post about that on Instagram and Do Things Make Stuff. But for now, I'm probably just going to set the Scribit up and draw on that wall. Just take a look and see how it goes. Now, if you see my other Scribit video, or if you wanted more information about how to actually set up the Scribit, go ahead and watch that other video. I feel like I'm not going to go through it all again. There are some differences is what they're telling me. So the differences I'll highlight in just a minute. But I'm going to mark this wall out. I'm going to use the tape that they provide to help me mark it out. I'm going to go and just start as wide as I possibly can. I'm going to go all the way out to 10 feet. So let's see how it goes. It's alive. Let's set it up this time. Now, last time I set this thing up, I had some internet connectivity issues. Let's see how this one goes. Wi-Fi setup was as easy as it should have been. I had lots of issues last time. Typed it in, boom, it connected. Now, here is the new thing that I'm really excited about. An automatic calibration. It says it's in beta, but I'm curious to see what happens. So there's the Scribit. It is in auto calibration mode. It says wait while it prepares. It could take 3 to 6 minutes. I forgot how mesmerizing it is to watch. I think that's one of the great things about the Scribit while it's kind of doing its thing is every time I used it, everybody around wanted to know what it was. They want to talk about it. They were amazed at the detail, the level of detail that it drew. Me with a critical eye was noticing little skips or noticing, the color pen brightness not being as bright. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 2 different types of pens that they gave me. I have the standard whiteboard pen and I have the fat tip whiteboard pen. And I'm also going to take the plaster pen. Now the plaster pen and the stock drywall pen that it comes with, or whiteboard pen. Both have the medium tip. It's kind of what I would call it. The new pens that they sent me are made for whiteboards or dry erase boards, which obviously mine's not dry yet, but I'm going to put it in there because I think it'll be a good control test to see the difference between the fatter, thicker tip and then the standard tip. So here's some of the things that I'm actually really excited about is, as I get my whiteboard, I'm getting in my new office and I've got a new job. It's the ones like this. I don't know if you can see that they have these kind of like utility drawings for whiteboards. This one's a planner, so it's got a daily planner, a to-do list, and a goals. It would be fun on a whiteboard to draw that up for the week and then erase at the end of the week and draw a new one. So I'm not going to draw that one right now for this. Let's try something maybe a little different. So when I was tightening it, I moved the thing a little bit. Let's hope that it works. Check and confirm. Markers are correctly positioned. Scribit is calibrated. And print. Now this pattern it's doing is just a geometric shape. It kind of looks like a rose a little bit. It says the quick drawing has a quick drawing setting, which is really nice. I gotta say, I haven't looked through the app, obviously, in quite a bit. Lots of new drawings, and I really like some of them. I'm hoping the nature section expands a little bit. Now that I live in Farmville, in the middle of nowhere, I'm hoping this one grows a little bit because I would probably do a lot of those. So, all right, see what happens. All right, we're done. Let's go see how it looks. All right. So, I don't know how well you can see it on video. I'll try my best to edit it so you can see it. But here's what's cool. The auto calibration, I really did nothing. And you can see these points. They're pretty darn right on, which is impressive. What's really interesting with the pen is, I don't know if you can see, this is where it started. This first line with the blue is the plaster marker. The first line of the plaster marker made for this type of wall, and this is very smooth wall, no texture. Didn't do anything until it got probably, 4 feet into drawing. And then towards the end, it actually got really bright. So I think the tips of your pens might be a little dry. So maybe you kind of need to use them a little bit before you start. But I got this thing out of the box on the wall and drawing in 15 minutes probably, which is a shockingly fast amount of time compared to last time. So for that, I am really excited. And I feel like, when usability is better and better, it just means I'm more likely to use it more often. So my staff's going to come in tomorrow morning. I'm sure they're going to be stoked to see this thing, but I am going to have to figure out the drywall paint, the whiteboard paint, because that's not going to work. It doesn't look good. So it either needs another coat or something. So I'm going to figure that out, and I'm going to talk to Scribit on Friday, and then I'm going to continue shooting this video. Cool. All right, I want to show you something that's a little different. Now, previously, when you were inserting your pen, there was just these little cups with a rubber washer inside there. Scribit has come up with something new, this cap. And why this is such a big deal is previously I had a hard time telling how deep the markers needed to go. Sometimes it'd be too deep and it'd push the Scribit off the wall. Sometimes it wouldn't be deep enough. It was kind of a game you got to play. I always had this line, and you always tried to line it up there, but Scribit has come up with something new where this cap, let's see if I push this back, this stopper, it actually stops so the Scribit pen cannot go any further in. So you get perfect alignment every time, as long as you set the Scribit flat on the wall. And a couple of tips, which are always what would be recommended, is do follow the instructions. I've tried to play around to set it up without using that little tape that tells you, A1 to A2 or B1 to B2. Never really works quite right. Drawings are a little crooked. They're not in the center, not where I thought they were going to be. So they also have some new test drawings in there, which are just like rapid draws, which is what I just did here on the wall. And you can see I have some minor adjustments to make so that I can get a really clean drawing. So now that I did one of these testing drawings on the whiteboard with the new whiteboard fat tip markers, let's do a detailed one. All right, so here's what I would say. The Scribit kind of, we're going to call it 1.5, is actually a significant update. I would say it's an upgrade in some ways, and it's an update in a lot of ways. A lot of it is software. A lot of it is the drawing capabilities, the accuracy, kind of the fine tuning of what was already there has gotten a lot better from when the Scribit first came out. Now, the big things for me are the placement of the markers. Now, not only are the markers themselves better, the thicker, fatter tip is a significantly better drawing experience, as you can see behind me. I actually stopped this drawing partially way through because I messed it up. But the drawing experience is much better. The images are much clearer. The accuracy is really high. I feel like it was very high before, and it's gotten even a little bit better again. What I'll also say is there is way more content available on the Scribit app than there was previously. I know they're working hard to get things out. In October, they released a bunch of masks and things that you could put for Halloween or for fall. And now as Christmas is ramping up, their Christmas things are starting to come out. So there's a lot of great things happening with Scribit on their software end. And on the hardware end, that different with not only the pen itself, but actually the ability for it to be pressed all the way into a set depth and to stop is a massive difference. No more do you have to kind of, is it too far? Is it not far enough? And kind of struggle with that. You push them in and it firmly sets in a specific position, and then you know it's in the right spot. So I do really appreciate that update. Other than that, it's really all software development. Some of the internals, I know some of the pieces are slightly different than they were before, but I would say I think the Scribit is a great tool. My kids and my wife came in here after I was playing it and after right before I shot this video. And my kid loves it. He loves to sit there and watch it and go on my app, choose the colors, put them in, watch it, draw something. My wife, even she was hesitant about the whole thing. She doesn't love technology. Even she was like, man, that thing's really cool just to kind of sit here and watch as we were doing some stuff in the office. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions, please put them below. This is not really a sponsored video, even though it is. Scribit sent me this and asked me to do it. They didn't ask for anything specific. I did have a couple phone call conversations with them, which was just an opportunity for me to ask some questions and get some clarity on a few things. So the one thing I will say, and I did get some clarity on, is this is their whiteboard paint. It is a really good paint, but I think it should probably preface that you need to prime white behind it. The color that was behind it was actually not the color you see on the walls because I painted them. It was like a tan cream color that did shine through, but the epoxy dry erase paint covered it, but it's just slightly transparent in a few areas. So if the background was white, then this would be a phenomenal. This is the 2 meter by 2 meter. So it's a really big, good size whiteboard that I'm excited to use. I'm going to trim it and frame it out inside my office. But I would say that the epoxy is phenomenal. The mistake that I made, and probably maybe it needs to be in the instructions, is the background behind it does need to be white, or at least a very, very, very light color, because you will get some splotchiness, which I noticed in editing. So this is kind of post-editing. You can't really tell in the video as well as you can in person. It looks, it doesn't look quite as good in person. So I did buy some more paint. I'm going to sand it with my orbital sander. I'm going to go over it again because I need a nice looking whiteboard in my office. So, and as you've seen now here at the ranch, I have an office finally. I've got carpet on the floor. If you think the echo is bad in this video, it was 100 times worse before. The paint color on the walls, if you're curious, this is ambiguous gray. I think it was what it was called by Sherwin-Williams. And I actually have no idea what this paint color was. It was some sort of a foresty green, olive something. By Sherwin-Williams as well, and holy smokes, it was awesome. And here's an unrelated to Scribit, but maybe a little Sherwin-Williams tip. Their most expensive paint is not their best paint. It's like the middle grade one that seems to do way better. I painted my whole house with their best paint, and I put 2 coats and 3 coats in some areas, and it didn't cover very well. In my office, I used their mid-tier paint, and this is all single coated, changed color, and it came out phenomenal the first time. So, I always think you get what you pay for, right? Well, in that situation, I did not. I got a lot more work, and I paid for that a lot more work. Also, not sponsored at all, Small Woods. If you're looking for canvas for prints or anything, I took my drone out and I took some photos. I got these big prints made of some photos that I took of the ranch that I'm going to put inside of our new Airbnb houses. I think I bought 5 of them. 3 of them are this large. And then these ones that are just a little bit smaller. And man, I would say, one, I took these on my drone, which that doesn't mean anything. But the sharpness is phenomenal in this picture, and the frame and everything. So I got all 5 of these. I think it was like $260 shipped, which I'm stoked about. So we've got some places up on Airbnb. If you're in Middle Tennessee area, you're coming to visit, and you want to come stay and check out the ranch that I'm on, check us out on Airbnb. We're in Normandy, Tennessee, called Arrowhead Ranch. But thank you guys for watching the video. If you haven't liked and subscribed by the very end, man, what are you doing? Please. I am hopefully going to be starting to do more videos about the ranch and what's going on here. Scribit asked me to do this video months and months and months ago, and I really dragged my feet. We've had a lot of going on here with just life and job transition and family transition and pregnancy with my wife and all that. So it's been a nutty few months, but hey, thank you for watching this video. If you want to see all the details and me kind of figure out some things and go through the box and do an unboxing and show you everything that comes with it, go ahead and watch the entire video. I think there's a lot of really great information on it, but generally I would say in the beginning, I think I was questionably sold on the Scribit, and I feel like now it's awesome. And again, it's application specific. If you have a space where you want to put art on the wall, whether it's your art or their art, because you can do both with this, I think this is a really great tool to do that. If you have big windows that you want murals, you want to change things very often, I think this is a really cool way to do that. So the Scribit is a tool just like everything else. The GoPros and the DJI Actions and all those things, those are tools, but they're tools, cameras for a very specific set of filming, right? Like the Scribit is the same thing. It is a tool that does something really unique. It definitely has a wow factor to everybody who sees it. It does do some really incredible drawings. The solar system that I drew was really great. This one was the continuous kind of circular shape that has no end or beginning. Again, all the points as they connected were right on. And so anyways, it's a really great tool, and I would highly suggest it. My suggestion would be, if you're going to paint it, paint white behind it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing this video. Go ahead and go do some things and make some stuff.